Yeah, you don't seem very convinced. And I feel like if you didn't know the team names, you would actually be going for a 5-man for sure.
I feel like I would, but from what I've seen about Team NIGMA, this is going to be a really fast-paced game, and even though they have like you would call mid-gamey cores like Ursa on the side of 5 men, their lineup doesn't really have like team cohesion at like 15 minutes. Like, how do these 5 heroes go together in fights? Do you know what I mean?
You mean NIGMA?
No, 5 men.
Oh, I see.
Like, look at their heroes. They just don't team fight at all. They don't have like any
You can see
synergy.
the odds, Jenkins. Do you agree with them?
I would definitely agree with those. This is the one time the odds are like crazy in the favor of one team, and I actually agree with it. I think 5 men's going to get
There's just no vision to
You
their
just don't
lineup.
believe in that, Broodmother?
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
The new Broodmother spiders suck against Invoker anyway. Like, Invoker can actually lane Brood.
5 individually strong heroes that I don't see how they mesh together.
All right. Well, in that case, we have a game ahead of ourselves. Let's go straight to our casters. It's the beautiful OD Pixel, and also
Catch us if you can.
Prepare for battle.
That is what you sound like.
Is it spring already?
That is what you sound like.
Okay. But possible. Okay. It really depends on how this Brood plays out. I think that NIGMA banned the Kunkka so that it wouldn't be picked up by 5 men, and they have this tiny core in response. If you go for a few points in the tree grab, you just straight up kill the spiders, and the toss, of course, doing physical damage means you can throw it and deal heavy damage to the spiders, which is key. I believe at level 4 tree, you one smack and a toss, and it actually just kills all of them. And that's ultimately what Brood uses to win games. So
yeah, and I'll just be interested to see how this is going to play out. So NIGMA running this tiny, obviously in the mid lane with Wii, and then because of that, they're having this Miracle side lane Invoker. You know, the side lane Invoker in particular, not something that we get to see a lot. What's the plan behind?
Well, it's just dodging the Brood, right? And they've utilized 3 of my favorite combos in Dota: Phoenix and Tree, we know how good that is, Chen and Tiny, and Miracle plus Invoker. We were talking about this in some of the pre-tournament interviews, really hoping that he would bring this hero back. It's arguably the most iconic Miracle hero, and it's so cool that we're now in a patch where we can finally play it. Also, Mind Control's playing offlane Tree.
Yes. He is indeed, the offlane Tree. I mean, because of the fact that you do have those combos like that with the Phoenix, does that just sort of empower the advantage of having the Mind Control in the core position as the Tree?
I thought you were going to go back towards True Sight. You know, be like Seb. Seb plays Tree offlane. Our boy must also play the Tree offlane. But indeed, it does have a hell of a lot of good synergy. It'll certainly be able to set up for the Meteor, Sunstrike, Cataclysm combinations.
Well, let's have a look. And this lane in itself, are we going to see NIGMA, you know, looking at the 3-lane matchup, are some of these lanes very one-sided in your opinion?
Top is curious to me. I'm not sure how core Tree is going to do against an Ursa. Bottom lane, Invoker, as you said, as a side laner, is just not considered very strong. You really need levels, and it's tough to get those in a 2-on-2. But he is with the Chen, and this is a really cool way to get around that, because Chen's kind of this like half lane split. You can even see here, he'll send creeps later on, and mostly just not be in the lane. So Miracle should get really nice levels.
All right, and he isn't going to be under too much threat from these 2 heroes. This Doomarana, does it pose much of a threat to the Invoker in the safe lane?
Until you get better creeps, I don't think so.
Okay.
You might get outlasted, but you have a pretty high base damage advantage. I think you'll be okay. The big thing is, how will Furion get involved? If I'm 5 men here, I think I'm looking to just Zerg down this bottom lane ASAP. Typically, Furion matches up really well against Chen, because you can always bring that creep pressure and just play very aggressive before the Chen gets an army up and running.
We're going to see them try and turn on to Misery here. Cold snap. Sunstrike just off the mark though, but still Misery falling very low, and it's enough for Miracle to finish off the kill there. The safe lane Invoker getting first blood here. Miracle off to a very nice start there with the kill that was definitely needed CS-wise. He was struggling with the pressure that the Doom was putting into him on that lane, but finding kills, finding first bloods, he's going to be a happy Invoker.
Yep, really well played. The Purge creep just coming in clutch. They did a really nice job of double blocking both spawns at the first minute, but our men wisely already ran all the way to the camp over to the left, grabs a Purge, and catch Misery without leap skilled.
Yeah, Misery just going to have to be a little careful how close he gets whilst he sits here at the level 2 down at that bottom lane.
Yep.
As they'll be sure to try and jump on him again.
Tree also really good against the Ursa. You can root him post ulti later in the game, but even in this early laning phase, the armor after the change, where it's now just armor and flat HP regen, is actually quite nice because you just get hit by Ursa and don't really care.
Yeah, and it is hard as well for the Ursa to truly commit on you, because sure, you are a melee hero, but you know, as the Ursa early on, if you try and jump in and suddenly the Nature's Grasp gets placed down, you know, the tree can sort of turn and punch back, and early on the tree punches very, very hard and can, you know, easily sort of trade back on the Ursa before he starts to get those extra levels in the Fury swipes.
It'll certainly get harder for Tree as the lane continues, but it'll be interesting to see how MC plays this, whether he goes for more of this like support style Tree, or if he just goes for a fast meteor hammer, which has always seemed very effective whenever Treant's been able to pick it up so far. Misery in trouble again.
I tried to commit here onto RMN, but Miracle and RMN, they just turn and kill him off for a second time in this lane. Miracle also being protected by the living armor. Zibe, not quite enough damage to fight through it. Miracle's gonna live.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so excited to see this as well. This is my favorite Miracle playstyle. He used to do this all the time back when he was still in OG. Double null, treads drums, oftentimes with the drow, and he'd play super aggressive and like just shred down towers and be a right-click carry. I imagine that's the direction he's going to go, but he'll have so much stat. Ace just died. These heroes are full HP up here too.
Yeah, this is the terror, I feel, of laning against the core Tree. Like, as I say, you can't be baited in by the fact that, oh, he's a melee hero, I'm going to go on him. Nature's Grasp, it's a lot of damage. He will turn, and as long as he lays it down alongside a Tree, you're not going to win that trade as an Ursa in the lane.
And you can see Chessie, the trouble with Brood is that ultimately you want to be able to apply pressure to make this hero work. Farm aggressively, cut waves, take enemy jungle camps. But because he's up against effectively a one-to-one just hard counter in the lane, I don't know if that'll be the case. Touchdown, Miracle.
Yeah,
of course
Miracle, he's off to a fiery start down here. He is being hunted. Again, the living armor protecting him. He's starting to punch back on Misery as well. With that Forge Spirit, Misery jumping forward. He's trying to find this kill. Can he quite do it? Miracle getting brought low, but again, the heals and sustain being offered across the map by Mind Control. And now he turns with a Forge Spirit and gets the kill. Miracle 3-0 on 1 so far in the first 5 minutes. It's a beautiful start for the safe lane Invoker.
Now that is one of those YouTube compilation highlights we have just gotten so used to seeing. I just love watching Miracle play Invoker, man.
Yeah,
really
like
nice
just keep
job.
the camera down here.
Yeah.
With where the action's happening.
Under tower with tree armor, he had 14 armor up. Like, how do you pressure the lanes here? When you fall behind like this as 5 men, you don't have the ability to really rotate either. Pilot Eye coming bottom, what would he do in that spot?
I mean, well, that's the thing, right? Well, bottom, Arrow. It's going to be blocked by the creeps as the space is there for RN and Miracle to pick up another kill. I mean, what do you do now on this bottom lane if you're 5 men? I mean, Misery keeps coming down. He's died 3 times already in this area. Now you're seeing Zibe fall to the 2 of them. How do you rectify this bottom lane? Like, where does Misery go? Where can he make moves?
Your guess is as good as mine. MC in some trouble up top. He just wants those arcades. Oh, Ace. Ace. Oh, so close.
Yeah, nearly able to make the walkaway happen there. That wasn't to be the case. Weehaw has come in with a rotation. He's got the combo with the Sunstrike. Not enough straight up though, as Ace will be able to get back underneath the tower. If the Sunray onto Pylite dies, can Weehaw get back in on this? He's a little low mana, so might be able to do so.
I don't like that rotation at all though, Owen, because look at mid tower. Just getting beat on by a spider army along with the catapult forces the glyph right away. Weehaw's got to hustle, but they're going to lose about half HP tower here. And losing this T1 to Brood is really impactful because that's what would actually open up this Radiant side of the jungle. And check, yeah, that Tiny versus Brood, folks. That's the trouble for Chessie. Effectively this entire game. There's nothing you're going to be able to do to help your spiders survive that.
No, yeah, I mean, that pretty much took them all out, but in the situation where he's able to hit an avalanche as well, yeah, they're all dead.
And GH, as soon as he hits 6, the team fight, 5 men just don't really have any of that to speak of. Sure, you could doom somebody theoretically, but look at the AoE power that NIGMA's packing right now. With the Phoenix in the tree, the Invoker combo, a Chen army to come later, along with the massive AoE healing. There's just so much sustain. And 5 men, there's none. You have Brood ultimate, I suppose, but it's very difficult for them to take long engagements, and NIGMA's lineup specializes.
I mean, bottom lane, we do see Misery and Zibe return, but they really have to be careful down here. Collectively, they've already given up 5 lives to Miracle and RMN.
He's so... Now with the Ice Ogre, he's so farmed.
I'm gonna come in with the TP, see if they can focus down Miracle. They're on top of the Invoker, but he's just turning with the cold snap on a Pylite die.
You can't.
They've tried to gank him, but his hail failed horrifically.
He has 1100 HP, drums, and 15 armor. Like, what? They don't have real magic damage. They're just trying to click him to death. That's not possible. He's going quas and just regenning now for what, 16 HP PS? It's just, come on. You have to leave this lane. Go get this mid tower or something. There we go, Chessie. Again, they at least punish Weeha's rotate. Chessie's making a right move. As soon as Tiny leaves, you've got a gun for the tower.
And Pine will be able to find the courier sniper at least. Zibe and Misery staying persistent though. Straight back down. Zibe has got the phase boost complete, so at least a little bit of extra movement speed and armor to help him if Miracle does start to make moves on him with the Forge Spirit and Cold Snap again. TP coming in. Pylite Die's playing with the idea of coming down here again. See if they can do it. They've got the level 6 now, and that should be enough to get the kill this time around as Misery leaps in. The Sprout controls there. Living Armor's going to be offered up. It will allow him to bring down Misery with him, but they do get the kill. His 6 hit on the Doom. They get RMN as well before he's able to TP away. Finally, 5 men able to open up that bottom lane.
Very, very important kill there. They wanted to use that Doom ASAP. Just he's taking some pressure middle, but he's already got that tower, so it'll be interesting to see. Yeah, he'll go for the diffusal build, likely into an Ags or BKB right after. I think it's the right move here. It means he's likely going to get aggressive earlier on, which is going to be necessary for 5 men to take this game, but it will be tough to team fight as we've already addressed. Meteor Hammer, my man. I love Tree with Meteor Hammer. It's so annoying.
Oh, see Ace. Step forward here. Looking to poke on to GH, but with the grass down, and nothing further he can try for. Arrow off the mark from Misery. Won't catch NIGMA backing off as they stay close to the wave. Mind control now hitting the 6. And still farm on this top lane. See Ace. Around 4k net worth, so still his farm not being slowed down too much. He's been able to get a decent amount out of this. The 10-minute rune coming up.
Misery.
It's gonna do enough to scare mind control away as he backs off. Bounty runes will be able to be picked up here by 5 men. In fact, they'll get the share of them here with the 3 for 1. That's top Misery. Attempting to jump in with the nuke on GH, but with the low level, the Starstorm, nothing to threaten GH. And still with the Supernova potential ready.
Ace going for the Midas build. Surprised he's not opting for the Battle Fury, but I think it's alright in this game. It's always higher value up against a Chen. Yeah, Chessie's going to go for the BKB next. Going for the no boots, so at that timing, he will become nigh indestructible, although I'm not a huge fan of BKB rushes against Trient, because you'd always be able to just root that initial immunity. We'll see. Right now, the laning phase is just going on for so much longer than normal. 11 minutes in, we've still got effectively dual lanes across the map. And not nearly as much activity from Pylite Die as expected either. But it's tough to play into these lanes, and Miracle so fat. His Midas en route.
They're going to come in again. Zibe will find the Doom opportunity onto Miracle for a 2nd time in a row now. And with the chase down, they should be able to find him. They're trying to keep him alive with a Hand of God and Sunray, but they cannot save him. Supernova's down, but they can turn and kill off this Eagle. Maybe not the Overgrowth holding them back. The Supernova, it's going to be successful. GH gets it off. They've killed off Misery and Pi. Now they'll turn over towards Zibe. Ace has turned up in an attempt to turn things around. Zibe will he live the Sunray? It's burning him, but not enough. Zibe gets out. Ace turns, takes down Mind Control. As 5 men will be able to claim 2 for that Ace with a nice bit of a cleanup. Helps push him towards the Midas. And they are doing it each and every time that Doom is available. They're finding the opportunities to just drop it down on Miracle, come in with the backup, and get him out of the lane.
Yeah, I'm surprised that they were able to execute that twice, but same move. Pylite Eye into the trees, Sprout, once Doom, no way you can eat your way out of it, and a free kill on Miracle, but you can see the power of the turnaround. I mean, that egg from GH looked dangerous, and then all of a sudden there was a root. In fact, surviving because of the buff recently where it's 1 extra hit required to take it out at level 1 was down to 1 hit just before it exploded, and then all of a sudden everybody's dead. Zibe, of course, luckily able to survive. Chessie's still farming, but I'm not sure that this is going to be enough. He's averaging over 10 CS per minute, so not a bad performance by any means, but at what point are 5 men looking to win the game? Because you got to figure this is their win condition, but I'm not really seeing a natural way for them to involve him in Dota until I guess he gets BKB and they run into Roche.
Sure, for the most part, he's just going to be sat around this mid portion of the map, which, we'll see what NIGMA do with that in mind, because he's finished off his blink, also picked up the smoke for the team, so straight out to look for a big hit with this blink dagger reveal.
They would have seen that if anyone was looking. That tree disappeared while he was smoked. They have a ward right on top of it. Not sure they noticed, though. No pings coming out.
No, very hard to catch those sort of things.
Hello.
Yeah, wait. Finds Pi,
Dire's top
and
tower
Pi
is
still
under
able to
attack.
sprout, and he is away with the Sunstrike off the mark. Pi will escape.
Talk about subverting expectations. That would have been a plot twist even the David and Davids would have been proud of, because you'd assume Pilot Eye is just dead. Weehaw blinking right on top of him, but the Sunstrike off the mark. A little bit of miscommunication there, but I'd expect the next combo will be executed a little bit better. MC down bot, no Meteor Hammer, but he's trying to keep this tower alive. Is Doom available? I believe so.
And there's the ult is back up as Zibe seizes an opportunity to drop it. Mind control.
Under attack.
Still with the pathing through the trees. Yeah, can't
Radiant's
quite
bottom
find him,
tower is
even
under
with
attack.
the clear out of the treants.
But they have created a
Dire's
fire
top
stop of
tower
sorts.
has fallen.
No way for him to cross back to the right side.
Dive in. GH is going to try and go for the team fire here. They've got the supernova into the overgrowth. The Sunstrike as well comes crashing down onto the head of Pylai Die. They'll take out the Prophet. We are trying with the chase. Zibe's pretty tanky with his phase and drums.
Under attack.
We are going to attempt for a poke, but Zibe just turns, drops the Doom down, puts a stop to that play entirely. Chessie has come across. Mind control TPs away from the Spider army immediately, and that will mean that Weeha is left all alone, as 5 men will be able to claim the life of Tiny as well. Really starting to react nicely to these moves that NIGMA are coming out with.
That's a very odd maneuver there. Weeha missed the initial blink, but then keeps chasing, following the Doom all the way into Shelob's lair. No surprise, Chessie is there to turn around. You just can't venture towards the Broodmother and then blow both spells in an attempt to catch the tankiest hero on the side of 5 men. Nice execution, but you can see this Tree Phoenix combo, if they can hit this on more heroes, they're going to find more kills. It's just that so far 5 men have been playing a little more split across the map. Already Midas drums, soon to have a bots as well. Miracle is enormous. And even though 5 men are in the lead, how many times, how many years have we watched this man play Invoker? You've got to still be thinking NIGMA are comfortable with the state of the game as is.
Yeah, and the fact that ultimately there's always going to be that combo. The overgrowth, the supernova, and down the line, the cataclysm. It's going to take time to get there, but you imagine once that Aghanim's comes out in the later portions of the game, there's going to be that very, very ferocious team fight that 5 men are going to have to somehow deal with.
MC doing his job. Space Maker camping down his bot half of the map as his team roaches. No, the creeps.
Yeah, not the quickest of roaches, but a safe enough one amongst the cold snap. And the fire spirits being up there by GH. No signs of 5 men catching any wind with this one.
Well, this is so risky. If they did have any idea, they'd be in so much trouble. The arrow? That helps them, no!
Oh, yeah, Supernova just dropped down to stop anyone from coming in, as they will be able to secure that Aegis. Pi tries to take out the egg, won't be able to do so, but yeah, you saw that GH just being like, all right, the jig is up, they know what we're doing. I gotta pop this egg.
I wish we had a webcam on Misery for that sequence of events. I know him quite well, and that is one of those moments in Dota that he's had so many of in his career. It's like he makes the right move, but it actually ends up backfiring. GH sure spends the egg, but they secure Aegis full gold, and now Miracle with that second life. Is that 2 Meteor Hammers? Dude, they're all in on this combo.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen GH every game, really, where he loves the Meteor Hammer Phoenix, and he's always making great plays with it. The dive into the cast of it, he always finds the combos. They get the catch onto Ace. It's an early pop of the ult in an attempt from Ace to try and survive. But NIGMA, they're just going to look to run him down. There'll be a buyback from Pylai Die. That will cause them to back away. The Doom also drop down onto Miracle. This time, Miracle won't die to it. They'll be able to reset safely amongst the 5 of them, keep themselves alive.
Yep. We'll say I've been a critic of Chessie's Brood going back all the way till we were oh, hang on. So
he's got the BKB here, but it will just be a BKB and a back off.
I've been critical of Chessie's Brood since we were reviewing replays together while on the same team. We've seen him cross the river twice now. Once in that engagement bottom, and once when Weehaw left mid so he could take tower. But I just don't feel you can win Brood playing this way. Miracle went full greed build. We have a diffusal BKB on Chessie, but there isn't anything being done with it. It's NIGMA applying pressure around the map. Brood is not a hard carry. You're not going to go scaling into this game against Phoenix Tree Invoker, are you? I just think that they've got to get something going with the way that they've itemized. If 5 men aren't going to fight now, when are they planning to?
I see that. The smiles from Mind Control. He's in a happy place right now. Loving life with the double Meteor Hammer action that the team's got going and setting up for these early tier 2s. 18 minutes. They'll take this away. No response from 5 men. They're not interested in fighting here. They're putting a bit of split pressure on the bottom lane, but a little harder for them to do so. I mean, they lack the Meteor Hammers, and they're doing it against the living armor.
And they're going to be able maybe to take outpost control. They've got 1 minute and 40 left to do so. Always nice to see these top teams start to abuse this new change. If you take a tier 2, you can take enemy outpost. But of course, it's only value every 10 minutes. So I'd like to see them make a maneuver there to secure it. They have 3 wards in the area. So you can see NIGMA, actually 6 wards currently placed on the map. 3 top side, 3 bottom side. You rarely see this many wards on map for just one team. MC in trouble as always. Should be okay.
Oh, actually going to go for Pi. Just the overgrowth into the Sunray as they seize an opportunity. They know that they've got the damage between the two of them to take that kill, and they'll find it. Zibe's going to come across. Hasn't got Doom for 20 seconds, though, so no real catch on the two of them. GH able to dive away. The arrow's out from Misery. Won't find a catch. GH TPing out of here. Mind Control's going to hang around, even dropping the Meteor Hammer just in case they did get a jump close to his buddy.
This reminds me of the TI7 True Sight when they just couldn't find Liquid. They're in the trees. It's unfair. And now it's, of course, a different team name, but NIGMA's still utilizing similar strats where even if you find these kills, think about where they are on the map, right? You have 5 men bringing 3 heroes to try and defend their 5-position Furion by the woods where their dead tier 2 is. Even if you get that kill, there's now a full 30 seconds it'll take you to run to the enemy side of the map where you might actually be able to take an objective. There's nothing doing for you in this half, which is why NIGMA continue to draw heroes towards it.
Dire's bottom tower is under
See
attack.
that bottom. NIGMA, another tower to be taken.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
There's 5 men still holding the slight net worth lead. I mean, most of that down to the fact that Chessie is very farmed on this Broodmother. Still really yet to see what he's able to do with this mass that he's built up. In the river, Misery. Jumping in aggressively there. Does have Chessie and Zibe by his side, but
bottom lane.
Using the moonlight, they're starting to sweep over towards Miracle and RMN, but Miracle and RMN just backing off as soon as they get any sort of sign of 5 men trying to make a move down here. And they want to go for Mind Control top. Highlight Dice coming in with the TP. They'll clear out the trees. That should be enough setup for Mind Control to go down, and it will be indeed. So seizing the opportunity there to set up for a kill for Ace.
I'm trying to do the same bottom. But Weehaw,
he's searching. He goes in with a scan and he's found Zibe with it. He's in underneath the tower. Wasn't quite enough there to burst Zibe down. Zibe getting away on incredibly low HP. But that has pushed him back away from the tower, and with RMN's army and Miracle moving in, they can start to knock out a tier 2.
That's the thing about MC's death top. That same idea. Well, sure, you got me, but look at where you were on the map. So if you want to push this wave that I've been just constantly showing as this tree end, well, now we're going to go make moves on the other side of the map.
Bottom tower is under attack.
They'll come in. GH, she's away. Nothing to cancel it. As Miracle also chucks out a tornado to stop any sort of chase.
Yeah.
They'll get away, but the tier 2 is kept alive. 5 men able to push NIGMA off it.
5 men, not so bad right now. You've got a Midas on the Ursa. Doom is generating gold just thanks to his Q. And Broodmother, Chessie, 2-0. I think still averaging over 10 CS per minute. Probably well more. Looking at Weehaw, 255. I'm sure a bunch of those are spiders, of course. But you're in a good spot. You're feeling okay. The question is, will you win a team fight? And that is, I guess before that, it's will NIGMA give you a team fight? Because right now, they're content to just keep splitting the map. Look, pull everybody bottom, Miracle immediately top, 2 heroes mid, and now Weehaw playing bottom. So just never really putting 5 men in a position to collapse or find them in a pincer. Just push the lanes.
And we'll see the Blink Dagger just about to come out for Mind control. We are after the Blink Echo himself, going for the Aghanims build. This game is tiny. And Jesse, here's Aghanims also closing in as he's just 1,000 away from having it picked up on top of the fact that he is incredibly well leveled. Level 18 right now in the Brood.
Oh yeah, he's getting very scary if you didn't have Arachnophobia as is. Once he gets the Ags up, it's going to be a lot easier for 5 men to deal with NIGMA split pushing because he'll have that choice of playing multiple lanes, not just stuck in this mid to jungle area. They really will want that second Roshan though, and that, yeah.
Easy money. But we are just, there we go.
BKB Doom. And this is the typical thing. Well, Miracle's been up here pushing by himself for a while. Nobody here. Let's do a little base damage. Why not? Maybe find a pick. Oh my god.
There we go. Starting to drop some of the Meteor Hammers. Taking that tier 3 down, Ace. Trying to jump in onto Weehaw. Misery off the mark with the arrow. Zibe comes in with the wrap round. He's looking for a Doom opportunity. Doesn't find it. Won't drop it down.
That was so close. He just barely dropped vision there. A Doom on Miracle probably starts this fight 5 men's favor. Although they still, again, don't have Chessie. And even if you were to TP, that means no Spider Armory, though he did just lose it to that Tiny, which is part of the problem with the hero in this game. One tree toss and the entire creep threat of 5 men disappears.
Oh, Chessie.
He's looking for it.
There it is. Oh. There go the spiders, and with the avalanche, the space is there for our men to easily TP away from the spider.
Ags on Courier, but again, it's just Brood. He's threatening because of his Lings. Without them, it's just a relatively hard-hitting Brood. Sure, he's top net worth. I've been wrong before. And perhaps Brood will scale better than expected, but I think you need this Manta BKB kind of carry to go up against a Treant, and typically Broods don't like to go that route. Very concerned for a post-BKB route.
So he's got mind control. He's going to get a bit of an opener onto Ace. Leads in with the Meteor Hammer. We are with the toss back. The Ultra Base about to come to the end at the same time as the EMP hits in. He's out of mana and he's out of options. Ace goes down. The Overgrowth into the Supernova is going to be able to hold Zibe close to it. Not close enough though. Zibe still with the movement speed can break his way away.
Tower is under attack.
We'll get out of there, but that is Ace getting caught out. Mind control with some sneaky plays there. Chessie going in with the BKB and the DD onto GH. You're set to buy some time for GH, but the arrow from Misery hits. They bring GH down. Could Chessie chase for anything else? The blink out from Weehaw gets him away, so we'll just be GH falling there.
That was with the DD though, Owen. I think without it, that might not even be a kill on Phoenix. A lot expended there. Nice discipline from Zibe. I probably would have panicked and BKB'd out of the route. He saves his full 10-second duration and then walked back to base. No sweat. You can feel it. Even though Enigma's behind in gold, they're still up in kills and they're certainly up in map control. Feels like they're able to play enemy jungle with reckless abandon, whereas 5 men just crossing the river has proven challenging. And soon to have a Lincoln's on Miracle. That'll make the Doom initiation significantly more difficult. And there's always the threat of a buyback later on in the game. Tank the Doom, who cares? Die, buy back. Zibe's now got no BKB. And the big concern is, as you saw there, without BKBs active, it's so easy for this Enigma lineup to kite. They have so much lockdown and teamfight potential. The tossbacks into the ice wall, the vine wall from the Treant, and then whatever creeps RMN gets, all will be useful. Essence Ring on the Ursa soon to go straight up Abyssal, it feels, and that makes sense. They need to find a kill right away. No long fights, just find somebody down.
It's TP'd in, and that Sunstrike, that'll do it.
That is what you sound.
Very aggressive TP in from Pi, takes a full combo to the face.
Yeah, the box come out, Miracle roasting chickens. No sweat. And once again, just keep, every time, whenever you see heroes up here, look at the mini-map. You'll always notice Nigma's got heroes in every single lane. In this case, they even have RMN in the jungle. Like, they're always the ones applying pressure. Even though they're behind in net worth, it just doesn't feel relevant.
Gonna look for another Roche maybe here. They're playing around the pit. I mean, still very hard for them to do it quickly. And at this stage, with the items that 5 men have, 5 men definitely with a good solid opportunity of fighting around this area. They themselves very close to the pit, as they're sort of hanging around in the jungle between the Roshan and this top lane, seeing if they can get any sort of catch. as we see as well. Are you a fan of this Pi build this game as the Prophet? He goes for the Rod of Atos on the Natures.
I haven't seen it ever, but makes sense here. They were limited on lockdown. Just even in terms of TP interrupts, it was Doom and Mirana. Now, of course, they got the Abyssal, sure, but it made sense under the circumstances, especially the way they were playing. It seemed like Pi was almost always there for ganks. Roshan the target. This is the fight 5 men have got to be willing to take. If you give up another Rosh, you're giving up all chance of finding a window. Invis popped.
Can NIGMA get in the pit here? Around the side, Ace starting to make quick work of it. Dive 4 from GH as he begins to throw out some spirits. Weehar coming in with the combo from the side, takes out Misery. The Meteor Hammer getting thrown down into the pit. Weehar and Mind Control being held outside of it by Zibe. Ace has the space to finish. Roche grab the Aegis. Weehar stands his ground, pulls the Agnes, but the BKB's out from Zibe. They've taken down the Tiny. GH on the high ground with the Supernova. Will be able to hit the stun on all 4 of them, setting up for Zibe to fall. Jesse commits now with the BKB onto Mind Control, but Mind Control pops the Overgrowth, holds back Jesse through the BKB. Miracle thinking about maybe turning back in on this. The cold snap. It's going to be the Yule's catch into the Chaos Meteor. Chessie getting beat down now with nothing to save himself with the BKB already used. Ace tries to come in onto Miracle, but the living armor keeping Miracle alive for now. Turns with the Deafening Blast, disarming the bear. They're kiting out Ace. Iron Man as well with this, the slow from the creeps, kiting up Ace, that further potential, making it so hard for Ace to actually fight it back. He's going to lose the Aegis. The Ice Wall's laid down by Miracle. They've got the follow-up Meteor Hammers coming crashing down onto Ace. The Sunstrike as well. Ace will juke it, but he cannot save his life. As Ace goes down, 5 men may have managed to secure Roche and the Aegis, but the fight, it just falls entirely out of place.
I mean, stars align for NIGMA. They call in the Wrath of the Heavens. Double Meteor followed by a Sunstrike. This is the trouble with the draft. You see the BKB from Chessie completely neutered by the AoE route. And now what? He runs away, and as soon as they don't have BKB, of course, there's none up on Ace. Who cares about Aegis? They're just going to kill you twice.
And just the movements here, straight down towards bottom. They catch out Pi, trying to split and push this bottom lane out, meaning the NIGMA can get all 3 lanes moving into 5 men's half of the map. GH for the dive set up on mid. Will hit the hammer. It's by the tier 2 though, and Zibe still with a BKB ready to pop. It's not going to be a hero they can dive upon. But that, that little lead that the 5 men had, it's been totally taken away, despite them being the ones getting the Roshan, getting the Aegis. That was all eliminated very, very quickly. I think it just goes to show that your sort of point about 5 men, they did have a net worth lead, but it never really felt like they were ahead. We just saw that in action.
It's not about net worth. That's another Seb line. He was of the opinion that adding this little notifier up top about who's ahead and how much gold is one of the worst things to help a viewer understand Dota, because ultimately it's not about how much gold you have in your coffers, but how strong are you and what can you do to utilize the investment you've made in your items and in your heroes to actually go win the game of Dota. Because the objective is what, Owen?
To defend your ancient.
Correct, and to destroy the other.
Sure.
And if you can't cross the Rubicon or the river, tough to do so. Well, Weehar got the giggles.
Oh, nice some giggles here from Wee. Smiles all around there. Very smiley team today, Team NIGMA.
Looks like MC just tabbed out. He's like, I'm chilling. Let me check out Dota Buff. Maybe I'll go look at the VODs.
Yeah, some good vibes here from the boys on NIGMA.
Is that art on the left, or is that just his wall? I like this room.
Oh, yeah.
That's quite nice.
I think he did it himself.
Possible.
Yeah.
Inspired by the Impressionists.
Yeah. We'll go back into the action. We got being picked up here. Full Octarine now for Miracle as he sits comfortably at the top of that net worth after those last few fights. 18k net worth on the Invoker here, 30 minutes in.
No, it's only going to get more and more powerful. I remember a conversation I think I heard through hearsay with Miracle, and his opinion on Invoker was, it's never a bad thing to be pushing lanes because ultimately you're playing for level 25. He does have the Cataclysm linked up, and I think there was also, a couple of years ago, but ideas Invoker scales. And oh wait, hold up.
He's going to walk into a straight-up Doom. I mean, he's pretty tanky.
He's blocked.
But yeah, there's no way out. Nice little play from Zibe. I mean, the Hand of God and the Living Armor, is it really enough to save him? It's close.
Robin Hood!
Oh, is he going to die? There's no way. No way he gets out of that. They slam him down. They'll be able to find him back over in the river as well. 2 more potential kills are being found as the Overgrowth is not going to keep him alive. Chessie and Ace, they're able to take down Mind Control.
What's happening?
A bit of an opening there from NIGMA as they split. lose Miracle top.
Nice moves. You're going to have to use it. That's how you got to take fights, 5 men. Don't walk into his team engagement. Just pick off the top net worth enemy hero. Just as we got to stop praising him, Owen.
As we are. It's going to be able to find Pi there. The follow-up damage of GH's Sunray. They'll be able to start putting into action the defense of this tier 2 tower. In fact,
that's so sick.
Yes, it is. There we go. It's going to be able to dodge it with the Earthshock jump. Zibe going in. Weeha is actually committed into the midst of the 4 of them. They're going to pop the Supernova to the side. Weeha turns with the Aghanims. The Supernova is going to be successful, but they're able to get out of reach of it. Only Ace caught, but with the ult up and that boost state of resistance, he doesn't care. They've killed off Weeha. There's going to be actually a buyback from Pylai Dai. If they're just diving in, the aggression here from 5 men. They're straight on the GH. GH, he's surrounded by the Treants. He's already used the dive. The hammer does the pressure down onto Ace. GH trying to get his own one out, does manage to land it onto the bear, but he's already dead. GH loses his life. Ace back up to full HP with the cheese. 5 men with a good old punch after that pause.
We'll find the hidden heroes. Oh. Sick fight, though. I can't believe 5 men are still in this. I felt like even though the game was looking Nigma's way for a while, in fact, even when it was 5 men favor, we were talking about it. We're like, okay, yeah, this is cute, but, you know, this is Miracle Invoker. Look at the team fight. Nigma got this in the bag, but, yeah,
Where's the smiles?
The smiles
Oh,
fun.
no.
Oh,
no. Oh.
MC's still fine.
I think that the smiles are gone. It's just like, oh.
It's like,
oh, no.
Guys, let's make sure to team fight this time. No more solo pushing. Please play
back to
as
serious business.
And it's still in a good spot, right? Like, we haven't seen him actually take an engagement since that Roche play. And ultimately, if you look at the itemization, there's just so much more beef on NIGMA. They've got the Vlads, the Medallion, they're going to have a Lincolns. You've got all this AoE damage that come out from Wii. And in terms of team fight help, Chessie will finish an AC soon, but there's no Vlads. They do have the Veil. Suppose it's not as bad as expected, but there's a Shiva's up as well on GH. A lot of damage reduction. Halberd soon to be completed, appears, on Mind Control. He's just got to be a little more disciplined with the root. He can't really use it for anything other than Chessie's BKB. Even Ursa's ultimate isn't as big of a deal. You can at least deal with him in other ways. Still no BKB on Ace. If he finishes that, that's where things get a little more spooky for Nigma, because these 2 cores can just go full Devile into the back lines, bind the Doom on Invoker, and perhaps that'll be enough to win the team fight.
Oh, they're going to come out with a smoke.
Radiant's
NIGMA.
courier has been killed.
As Miracle shows himself down bottom, so maybe trying for a bit of a bait as the rest of his team starts to connect to him. And okay, Miracle actually going to move elsewhere to the team's movement. All he's going to be able to offer up is that Sunstrike globally, whilst he looks to de-push the top lane. See if the smoke from NIGMA can get them the jump. Pylai Dai and Zibe are going to be the targets. Quickly in onto Zibe, but Zibe popping the BKBs out of the combos. Able to escape from the 4 of them. Miracle bossing back over. As you get pulled up by RM, and they get the connection onto Pi.
They really got Pylai Dai. No buyback on him either. 80 seconds, he's down for the count.
And actually, maybe another catcher. We are. It's him in the combo onto Misery. He's got the tree up, but Misery. Oh. I tried with the Sunstrike as well, but yeah, Misery's out. In fact, we are trying to clear the area with the trees, but it won't hit him. And that is 1 man down for a full minute. NIGMA are going to start poking at the base of 5 men. I say poke, I mean, it's quite a hefty poke.
Oh, crap.
A lot of damage done by this push from the Invoker. Chessie's trying to wrap him from the back. They're prepared for this, NIGMA. They'll take the tower. They know that the Spider's hunting them.
Just trying to take the fight on their terms. It's all about making 5 men initiate. You don't want to get caught extended, because then your supports in the back line can just get jumped on by Chessie. He wants to approach from the rear. He doesn't want to have this Revolutionary War style engagement where they just line up and run at each other. He wants to be able to grab either the Chen or the Phoenix before they're really able to react. MC going for a secondary Lincolns. I like this. If you're going to get the 1, you need the 2nd. You apply it onto the Invoker, and then all of a sudden dooming him becomes a near impossible task for Zibe. And he'll have that Hex finished up soon as well on that Invoker to go with that completed Octarine.
Oh, they're coming in 5 men. They've got the numbers here. The
long.
3 of them against the 2 of them. The setup onto GH, but GH able to dodge the arrow with the Yule Scepter. Gets off with the dive. Is it put to an end? They get the root out. They'll go for the egg, but the egg immediately focused by 5 men. They'll take it down. Chessie with the Raider as BKB turns over towards Mind Control. The dust out onto the tree. Mind Control cannot hide. As 5 men get the both of them. The Doom as well, stopping Miracle from being able to turn and help his teammates as RMN ripped to pieces by Ace. There's 3 dead. Still the chase. Can they catch Miracle? Miracle forced back. The root's there. They've got the control. They surround the Invoker. They take him down as well. 4 kills for 5 men.
I'm not sure what's happening, Owen. They're just getting caught. That's the second time, same spot, same players. You know, you lose 4 for none, and all of a sudden this game, really, it doesn't feel like you can lose team fights as NIGMA, but you've got to get them. You can't keep losing your team fighters isolated. And it's the second time, yeah, just caught in no man's land. The BKB on Ursa, 3 BKBs on these 3 cores of 5 men. If they find somebody, they're going to be able to take him down. Zibe, holy crap, that's damage.
Starting to get some more answers for Ace's Ursa, which is certainly needed, but the way that those last few fights have gone with this Abyssal, Ace has been tearing it up. There's a halberd done on Mind Control, but they need to control this bear. These, you know, this Ace Ursa and Chessie Brood, a huge problem in the fights when NIGMA start to get overrun. As soon as they lose one hero, really falls apart.
In team fight for NIGMA is great, don't get me wrong, but if you look at the way the cores are scaling, this is an offlane tree. He's not really looking to do damage later on in the game. And you have a core invoker and a tiny going for the Ags build. So you don't really have anybody that's going to scale with straight up right-click damage. Meanwhile, 5 men, you can have a refresher Doom pretty soon, and both Ursa and Chessie on the Brood are huge. Like, that's a Midas Ursa. That's a fat Brood. He hasn't done much but hit creeps and heroes this entire game. And if you look at the net worth, whoa. 26. Did Miracle drop an item?
No, I think he just picked up the Axe Blessing right in the pit.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, that makes sense. That's already 3rd Roche. Wow, it's not typical we have that complete by 37 minutes.
Oh, we have Chessie. Salmon and poke. But they have the Aegis and the Cheese ready to push on with 5 men. Again, maybe finding some of them caught out here. Bottom lane, RMN and GH are going to be chased to jump in onto RMN. GH has got to let him go. Pops the Shiva's guard.
Yeah.
Is there any real way that they can fight back into this? I don't think so. NIGMA's got to be careful.
The team fights are so tough now, too, because with all these BKBs, the egg is no longer nearly as easy to protect. Mind Control effectively has to save root for them, but who's going to initiate an engagement, make 5 men use these BKBs, if not the Treant or the Tiny, who are kind of needed to follow up? It's a really weird spot now that they've fallen so far behind. 15k gold lead. And you can see vision control. This is the first time we've seen NIGMA lose ward occupation on the enemy side of the river.
Yeah, some very nice plays here from 5 men. Just the way that they've caught out NIGMA about 3 or 4 times back to back now has put them in a much more comfortable position. 15k ahead now, Chessie. See what he can get in terms of catch. Miracle keeping the distance, but Pi is TPing over. Chessie still able to get in onto Mind Control. Ace heading over as well, jumps in with the Abyssal. Mind Control can't even get the ult off. He's dead. The Doom's down onto Miracle. Pilot is going to have the control with the Sprout. It's again another time where NIGMA, they're just getting caught outside of the base one by one, time and time again.
Yeah, I mean, we just saw Liquid get taken down by Viking. That was what we figured would be our upset win for the day. This is looking like the makings of number 2.
Oh, my NIGMA just all over the place right now. We are offers his life up in mid.
We haven't seen them I haven't seen them use their spells in conjunction in like 10 minutes.
Middle tower is under attack.
It's just death all over the map.
Radiant's middle
Look at this
tower.
graph.
I mean, this game was in a pretty stable state until about 5 minutes ago.
Radiant structures are fortified.
And 5 men now just beating on to NIGMA. NIGMA just not able to get any sort of play together. That's the push coming in. NIGMA have got a little bit of safety with that repair kit. But 40 seconds without Miracle's Invoker, the space is there for 5 men to take the tier 3 out. Starting to damage this barracks. GH is going to try and do his best to slow them down. and will be enough to push them away from the Racks. So the Racks are getting healed up slightly, but they're staying here relentless. There's 5 men. They'll recommit. We are. Look at the toss back into the hammer, but Ace just pops the ult. He does get to send on, but he still gets the kill on RMN. Jumps in with the Earthshock, and we are for that attempt with the setup. He ends up going down. He's gone for 100. He bought back as well for that. That was his buyback. As We Are is just out of the game. Miracle's back in, but now you're without your mid laner. Your Tiny's gone. RMN will also buy back, but 5 men, they feel very comfortable. They're just going to continue to push on, take the tier 3 out in the top lane. A second set of Rex exposed. As what can NIGMA do? They're trying. Zippy's going to come in with the BKBs. Miracle's out with the Ghost Walk. Overgrowth from Mind Control comes in, but Ace takes it off straight away with the BKB and the ult. Mind Control goes down. Zippy is going to be more than fine as he steps back. The space is there. A second set of Rex taken by 5 men.
Radiant's top barracks
As at this point, it just feels like NIGMA have nothing.
What the hell's going on, Owen?
Dive forward for GH, but to a stop by the Abyssal. He'll yours himself up. Miracle stands still, takes an arrow to the face. As GH is gone, Miracle tries to push them back with a deafening blast. Will be able to create the space to jump back. Chessie pushing on, the BKB comes to an end, but they're knocking on the tier 4s. 5 men, they're hungry to close this one out. They're at a 34k lead right now. As Miracle goes in with a Hex, but they're in on top of him again. The Atos and the Silence, who will force back, but the tier 4s are falling. The first one down and out. GH dives forwards, trying to push 5 men away. Hex as well from Miracle again. Setting up the Sunstrike. It's not enough damage to kill Misery. He's okay. Chessie now having the second Abyssal finish for the team. NIGMA just cannot catch them. 5 men are able to walk away, run out of here. They're now 2 sets of racks up, as well as 36,000 gold in the lead.
I can hear Misery in the comms as well with this eye. One eye up on the Tiny's respawn. 10 seconds, 15 seconds. I'm like, get out, guys, back. We got the tier 4. We got 2 racks. Game is secured at this point. We just got to chill. Roche can spawn 2 minutes 30. And yeah, NIGMA, you got to go make a play now with that Aegis off the field. But seriously, man, what? There is no individual Enigma responsible for the state of the game right now. This has been a very odd performance as a team. Their movements, their lack of team fighting, and just straight up getting picked up all over the map. It's not one person who's got the problem. It's the lack of a clear plan. There's no move Enigma have made since they took that fight that 5 men initiated post that Roche, what, 23 minutes ago? Something like that? It's crazy stuff. And I just don't know how you get back into it. Look how farmed this whole squad of 5 men is. Fully 6-slotted, effectively, on both these 2 cores. Top 5, 4-5 men players
middle tower
in terms of the net worth, and both Tiny and Phoenix feel relatively ineffective in comparison.
And the smoke out attempt from NIGMA not resulting in anything at all. 5-man players smart. They kept themselves right in the base, and now they move out themselves. They have the ults good to go. Doom ready to drop.
Well, Minotaur Horn as well. So sick in a game against Treant. Double BKB actives now. 3 if you count the ulti purge.
And just a question now, can NIGMA actually hold against this? It feels pretty rough. As 5 men just have an incredible lead right now. Outplaying NIGMA in the last 15 minutes or so by a landslide, it's really felt. NIGMA just all over the places. 5 men just pick them off one after one after one. And NIGMA with no counterplays whatsoever. They're going to try again with another smoke, NIGMA. What sort of catch can they find? It's still so hard as 5 men continue to play smart.
Yep. BKB's up on almost the entire team. They're just hunting.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Are scanning.
Even if NIGMA do find a way to start things off, it's very hard to see a way they win the 5v5 with how big the cores of 5 men are.
Yeah, it's gone from oh wait, how do we team fight NIGMA to how do they kill us? 4k HP on the Ursa. The EHP even higher when you consider the damage reduction. Broodmother is similar levels of health. You've got, like, between the 3 cores of 5 men, you have over 10,000 HP and 100 armor. Not to mention all the self-sustain that these heroes possess to keep themselves up high. It's just where's the damage for Nigma? Where's it going to come from? You need a rapier on this tiny and a hell of a lot of trees. And deforestation will inevitably become a problem.
Yeah,
if it isn't already.
Yeah, they're going to need the rapier on Tiny and the Ag's refresher, it feels, on Miracle. But that, of course, many thousands and thousands of gold away from both of them. So, Mikey Miracle. He's going to go for Pi. Has he got enough damage on his own? It's... doesn't look like it. Oh, maybe with the Sunstrike. No, it's off the mark. Doesn't get the hit on the Pi. Still trying to chase Pi. Right clicks. Really wants this kill. He's not finding it. They just turn. And Miracle will fall once again. Getting caught out by the Doom in an attempt to push in onto Pi. And meanwhile, elsewhere, RMN and they'll die yet again.
Yeah, there's no buybacks either, so...
just run down and finish here, 5-man.
This is the GG, unless MC and Phoenix can get a little bit of that OG magic. 2 versus 5 throne defense.
Feels incredibly unlikely. 40k down.
Radiant's
5 men here in game 1, really giving it their all. And Enigma just looking very lost in the second half of this game. They just didn't know what to do. They didn't know how to use their power. As this should be it. 4 dead, no buybacks, the ancient exposed. 5 men will take game 1 against NIGMA, ending with a 44k gold lead. As, yeah, you gotta imagine, we saw the smiles earlier from NIGMA in this game. In that second half, 5 men, the whole squad, they have got to be feeling pretty darn good about themselves.